So my granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas, and he told me when I was real little that we follow a barefoot rabbi. That's how he called it. And that barefoot rabbi gave us two commandments: love God and love neighbor. Because there is no love of God without love of neighbor, is how he put it. And my church, when I was growing up, always really emphasized our love for our neighbors, the need to take our faith from the sanctuary to the streets, to act, right? In the same way that labor organizers put their faith into action, the way civil rights marchers put their faith into action, the way farm workers put their faith into action. That was always the emphasis, which it's no wonder I went into public service, first as a public school teacher and then as a public official. It's all motivated by that commandment to love my neighbor as myself. I try to love my neighbor through public policy, right? Making their life easier with lower childcare costs, lower prescription drug costs, lower housing costs. But that work of loving my neighbor is really difficult, especially in a place like the Texas legislature. And anyone who's engaged in politics, I'm sure you could also attest to this, that loving your neighbor can be very frustrating and very difficult and very disheartening. And that's what happened to me in my second term. It had been such a dark session, the most extreme abortion ban in the country, permitless carry, where anyone could carry a firearm without any kind of permit, an effort to whitewash our history curriculum, and one of the worst voter suppression bills in modern American history. All of that happened in that second session. So to be very honest, I started to lose faith in this American experiment. Was it even going to be possible for us to all live together when we have such profound disagreements? And so I made the decision to go to seminary because I remembered that first commandment to love God. Those two commandments were given to us Christians because they sustain each other. The only way to love your neighbor is if you're loving that holy mystery where all of us come from, however you define it, whatever you call it. But loving the kind of the source where that underpins everything. And then the only way to love God is to show it through your love for your neighbors, by feeding the hungry, by healing the sick, by welcoming the stranger. But you've got to have both. And so for me, going to seminary was a way to balance out my life. It was a way of sustaining the love for my neighbors. And loving God through my seminary journey has been a true blessing. And it's why I can continue this sometimes difficult work.